Hello, Forecaster here again, and we are back for episode 50. And 50 sounds like sort of a milestone number. So, in this episode, we're going to take a look at programming finally, as I hinted at in the previous episode. Now, as you can see, before me, I have my oil reservoir, it's pretty much for oil. And I put a lid on it. And this is reinforced glass walls, currently being used as a floor from Artifice. And this is pretty much to prevent me from falling into the reservoir and dying by drowning in oil. I've done it a few times now, and it's kind of annoying. And I keep doing it. So this lid is to protect me, pretty much. So the the reinforced glass is obviously a lot stronger than normal glass. It has a higher blast resistance, and I've given it a much higher support distance. So normal glass couldn't cover this hole without collapsing. Another difference is you get this back if you mine it, which I've had to do, because when I was building this, a few of the blocks fell into the reservoir when it was full of oil. It just recently emptied out completely, finally. But yeah, so you see I've done something here, and if we head on downstairs into the ore processing and smelting room, you'll notice that I've been digging a little bit, and out there is the reservoir. So this is where the room will end. However, I want to make this a glass wall, so you can see into the reservoir, and thus see how filled it is from this room. Now I have this bit of stone left to mine out, and I thought we would take that as an opportunity to try out our new drone, which is sitting in here, and I've charged it up to 3.4 bar, which should be fine. I have been mining quite a bit, mostly for coal, but I've also found a few more diamonds. I found 9 diamonds, and 2 of them I've used to make a pair of GPS tools. And these are not the ones, none of these are the one I have in my sensor upstairs. So, the GPS tool can be used to select a single point in the world, and it will display that point with a yellow cube like this, and it will be visible through blocks. And so if we take 2 GPS tools and select 2 different points in the world like this, then we go into the programmer, we grab an area piece like this, then we select this GPS tool as point 1, press escape to back out, and then the second GPS tool as point 2, press escape to back out and save. Now if I click show area, the area that makes up that is between these 2 points we selected, i.e. this block and this block, are displayed by these green cubes. Now if I picked a block higher up, these would show the height as well, obviously. Now if I take a piece, say this entity attack piece, and I put the area piece here, this is the add side. So now, if I sent this into a drone, the drone would attack anything in this green area here. However, say I didn't want this corner to be included in the area. Then I could take this GPS tool, which has that point over there, select this point over here. Then I'm going to grab a new area piece and do the same thing with the GPS tools. Now, if I go in here and take stop showing area, and take show area there, we can see that this area piece now marks this area. And if I put this area here, this is the subtraction side, or subtract side, or the negative side. So the total area will be the sum of these, all the area pieces on this side, and you can stack them like this, minus the area pieces on this side, and you can stack these the same way. So, whoops, that's a little weird. If I remove these again. So this area will be subtracted from this area. So this area will be subtracted from this large area that we can see right now. Now normally if I click show area here, it should show the sum or the final selection. However, and I've talked to this with Martin, the mod author, and it seems that this system has broken in one of the recent performance overhauls. So it is currently just showing the whole area, and it's not subtracting these pieces. And he said that probably, although I haven't tested this yet, this is true for the drones as well, because they supposedly use or he said they used the same system. So the same system is used to determine the area to render these cubes in as the drones use to determine where to work. So probably the drones will not subtract properly either. Fortunately for us, we're not going to be using any subtraction right now. Well, I say fortunately, we could have tested it, but we are going to write a program to mine out this chunk of stone, or dig out. So we're going to grab a start piece. Then we are going to need an import from inventory a dig area piece, which happens to be the only brown piece, I believe. Yeah, that's interesting. Alright, so, and then we're going to need an export to inventory piece, like so. Now we're going to need an area piece. We're going to put it here. Now I'm going to select this chest here as the area with the first GPS tool. And since the chest is only one block, I only need one GPS tool for this. So I'm going to select this GPS tool as point 1, and I don't need to specify point 2 since it's just a single coordinate. I can click show area here, but it won't actually do anything because the green cube is inside this block, and they don't render through blocks to avoid displaying just a mess. And this may be improved in the future, but for now this will do because I know it's in that chest. Now what I wanted to import is a steel pickaxe. So we're going to apply an item filter, and we're going to search item and then pick Then we're going to select the steel pickaxe. Then we're going to use metadata, damage values, because we wanted to import the pickaxe even if it's used. So it doesn't have, otherwise we would have to specify, this would be a brand new pickaxe that is fully repaired, and this would be a slightly damaged one, and yeah, so on. But we wanted to use any pickaxe it finds, even if it's damaged. And we can ignore all of these. And then we press escape to back out and save. So we see a pickaxe on the item filter there. Then the dig area, we want another area piece. And we're going to select 2 points with the GPS tools. The first one will be up there, and the second one will be up here. So now we've selected this cuboid of stone that we want to dig out. Then we just go into this area piece and pick the GPS tools. We want a filled area type, so that's fine. And that should be it. We could specify item filters here to control what it digs out, but we just wanted to empty or clear the area completely. Then we have the export to inventory, and since I want to export to that same chest that I specified up here, I will middle click on this piece, hold and pull, and drag it down here, and we'll copy that with the specified coordinates. So we don't have to select the chest again. And we are just going to have it export everything. If I wanted to, I could copy this item filter and put it here to blacklist steel pickaxes. So it would keep the pickaxe. But I wanted to keep the pickaxe when it's done, or I wanted to dump the pickaxe in the chest as well when it's done, and if it needs to dig more and restarts the program, it will grab it again, or grab a new one if it's broken. So the drone will start at the start piece, obviously. It will get here and will fetch a pickaxe from the chest. It will dig in this area until there are no more blocks to dig, or until its inventory is full of blocks. And once one of these are true, it will stop digging and continue to the export piece, and will dump everything in its inventory into the chest. Then it will reach the end of the program and will start over. So it will grab a pickaxe from the chest again, and then keep digging, and it will repeat. It should repeat that until it runs out of air, at which point it will go to a charge pad and recharge, or it will stop working. Or until there are no more blocks to dig out in the area. So this should do it. Now, if we look at this export button here, which is we want to copy the program from the programmer into the drone here. And you can see it says required programming puzzles down there, and those are in here. Now you can have them in your inventory as well, and they will be used. So we're going to use one of each except the green ones, which we're going to use 3 of because we have 3 area pieces that are green. So this is lime green, it uses the lime pieces. These are green, so they use the green pieces. This is gray, blue, brown, and orange. So each of these programming pieces represent multiple actual pieces in the programmer. And there's no black piece, so there is just 15 pieces. And the one exception is the brown piece, which only has the dig puzzle piece, as I've already established. So now we should be ready to export the program into the drone, and we can now see the which pieces it has right there. If I take the drone, and we can see that one of each piece and 3 green pieces are missing from here now. Now I can check here. We have a steel pickaxe here, and if I place the drone here, it will take the pickaxe and start working. Alright. I'm silly. I thought somehow, for some reason, that the drone would pick up what it dug automatically. That's not the case. I knew this, but I forgot. It's you would have to have a pickup item piece to have it do that, or you could have a second drone do that independently. But this is fine. So when it's done, it'll just dump the pickaxe into the inventory again, and that's fine. So the program does most of what I expected. So it's digging away, which is very nice. Now, I gave it a pickaxe, but you don't really necessarily have to do that. If it doesn't have the correct tool for the block it's trying to dig, and the dig area applies to destroying any block, it's not just dirt or sand or stone. It's destroying blocks. But if it has the correct tool, it will dig faster, as fast as the tool allows. If it doesn't have the correct tool, it will dig at the same speed as it would, like me destroying the block by hand, like this. The difference is that it still gets the correct drop from the block. So in this case, for instance, it would still get cobblestone, or it would drop cobblestone from the stone blocks, but it would take a lot longer to dig or to mine them. So giving it a tool speeds up the work, but it's not strictly necessary. Actually, I can leave that because the drone will mine this up eventually when it realizes there is a block there. So this is what the area looks like with the green cubes, and they're kind of hard to see through. I almost thought the drone went somewhere there. If I recall correctly, you do get the puzzle pieces back if you import the program, and you can update the program for free if you don't add any new pieces to it. So now it's done. It's flying over here, and I guess it ran out of, or it's low on air, so it's going to go to the pad to recharge. I'm curious then if it will go back down. Yeah, it's recharging. If it's going to go back down and dump the pickaxe in the chest afterwards. See if I can select the charge pad. No? No. The drone is in the way. Well, I guess we'll have to just wait and see what it does. So another thing I've done is, as you might have noticed earlier, I forgot, is I built an iron tank here for my gasoline, because I wanted to speed up emptying the reservoir, so I needed more storage, because currently the refinery was running at the same, or at the speed the boiler was using the fuel, because the storage was full. So as the boiler used fuel, the refinery would refine some more to keep it satisfied. But the tanks were full, so wasn't working as quickly as it could. So I decided to build an iron tank to store more gasoline, and now it's running through the oil in this tank. And once that is done, I'm going to have to pump up more. So now the drone woke up again. Wake up. So now it's probably going to go down and leave the pickaxe in the chest, I think. Right. Of course. So now it's triggering the first puzzle piece, which is pick up a pickaxe from the chest. And then it's skipping the dig piece because there are no blocks in the area to dig. Then it gets to the last piece, which is dump the pickaxe in the inventory, and then it repeats and goes back to the first piece, which is pick up the pickaxe again, and then it keeps doing that. So, but it performed its task. Now what I could do is use a condition block. So the conditions are only displayed if you have the medium or advanced modes or difficulties enabled. And all this does is show more pieces. So advanced will show all the pieces. So you want, I usually have it on advanced. Sadly, this resets when you move the programmer, when you break it and put it somewhere else. So it doesn't remember the settings. But the condition block, if we take the area that we defined here, this has two outputs, I guess you could call it. So if I think if this evaluates to false, it will continue. Actually, we can just press I. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, right. So when the condition that is set is false, it will continue downwards. So if we put this like this, then we have the dig area set here, and then we're going to need a text piece, which I had right here. And we're going to put this here. And then we can specify a text string here, like the. Then we need a label piece. Then we copy this text string, and now you can see these are connected by a line, and this is because I have the show flow checked here. This is on by default. So now, if the condition is false, so it will check this area for any blocks, and as long as there's at least one, this will evaluate to true. If there are no blocks in this area, it will evaluate to false. So if there are no blocks in this area, it will continue straight down. And however, if there are more than one or more blocks in this area, it will look at this text piece and it will jump to the label piece that has the matching text piece, or the matching string. So when the condition is true, when there are more than one or more blocks in this area, why do I keep saying that? It will jump here and do the dig and the export command. Actually, we can do it like this. So the best way would probably be to do this. So if we do this, if there are no blocks in the area, it will just go down to the export piece, and it will dump the pickaxe in this chest. Then it will reach the end of the program and it will start over here. And it will just repeat this. And if it's repeating this, it doesn't actually have anything to dump, so it will just sit and do nothing. However, if there's one or more blocks in this area, it will jump here. It will get a pickaxe from the chest, if there is one, and then it will try to dig this area. It will then reach the end of the program. If there are more blocks in the area still, when it gets back around, it will come back here, try to grab another pickaxe, and then keep digging. Or if there are no more blocks, it will put the pickaxe in the chest. So I think if we put the drone in here, we don't actually have the pieces required to do this. I don't know if there's a way to extract the puzzle pieces from a drone. I wonder if we import a blank program or export a blank program. Yeah, it says returned return pieces. So if we do this, that is a bug, the sneak for info thing. It will put the programming pieces back into the inventory. So these aren't used up. They're returned when you remove the program from the drone, which is good. So they're reusable, which is very good because they're pretty expensive. So we've reached the end point of the episode, unfortunately. We might take a look at some more advanced programming using conditions in the next video, because I would like to use a drone to replace these walls here with these basic glass walls here. So I will see you then.